And this is the Nobody Talks Shidduchim podcast. I am your co-host, IJ. I'm here with Avery, Misty, and we have Samantha and Joelle, who are our guests today, who are matchmakers on the Upper West Side. They are matchmakers in a little bit of a different niche of a community, not general Shidduchim, but basically American Jewish dating, what it is today. And we have so much to talk to and so much topics to get to in terms of that. Our topic today is Shidduchim right for everyone? Is Shidduchim right for everyone? Such a very powerful decision that people have to kind of come and get to at a certain point where they're facing, is Shidduchim working for me? Is it something that I want to continue in? And for a younger audience, is it something I want to actually get involved in? Have Samantha and Joelle. They have a very unique experience and background coming to the table, and we're going to hear a discussion in regards to, other ways of dating.
Hey listeners, it's Misty from the Nobody Talks Shidduchim podcast, and I understand that between work, school, and your shidduch responsibilities, it can be really difficult to find time to read. Well, now, thanks to Audible, you can listen to your favorite books and authors anywhere at any time. I love that I've been able to catch up on the latest audiobooks with Audible, including some audiobooks by my favorite authors, John Grisham, Colleen Hoover, and Rachel Hollis. Whether I'm in my car, at the gym, shopping for groceries, or even during bad dates, I love how convenient Audible is. Here's how you sign up for the Audible. Just click on the link in our show notes and you get a free 30-day trial along with 3 free audiobooks. Remember, the average person reads 12 books a year, so don't be average.
Most of our audience went to the yeshivas that were separate, right,
Yeah.
IJ?
Not necessarily, actually, Avery. Many people do have your background as well, and maybe went a little bit more machmir later in life, later in their young life, let's say. And other people have actually done the opposite, where they were from a more yeshivish background, and then they ended up kind of deviating towards a more modern route. And that happens occasionally and many times when people actually are going through shidduchim and are young and single. Yeah. So there is that absolute relation that people
so how did that
understand.
affect you, Samantha and Joel? How did that affect you dating? Because you had experience, in a co-ed school with the opposite gender, whereas people like us did not.
Yeah.
So I
think it helped a lot.
Yeah, I think it can make it easier.
Yeah, I think it made it easier. Like some of our best friends were, guys, and like we were with them all the time. We had co-ed classes.
Right, that's cool.
And a lot of some of my friends married people we went to school with.
Oh, like friends,
Yeah, so, and they were, they dated in middle school. Like I have a friend, they dated in middle school. They broke up and then they dated again later on, and now they're married.
Really?
They have a baby.
Oh,
yeah, so
that's so cute.
Yeah, so I feel like it helped a lot.
Right, it could be easier.
A lot of people got married just from going to school together. So
right,
yeah,
that's very cool.
Getting set up through friends. That is another area people can meet through. It's not shidduchim. It's not social media. Maybe sometimes it might be integrated in a way, but getting set up through friends, right? Misty, have you ever gotten set up through friends? Avery?
Yes. I think it's better when it's
Yeah,
through
I
friends,
love
through
that.
people
No,
that
I
are
love.
close to you.
That's one of my favorite
You
ways.
like it. Girls
Yeah.
like it. Girls
It's
thumb up.
more, they know you better.
Like it's your friend. They know
I hope
you
know
they know
me.
the guy.
Exactly.
And if you trust them, then
like you're not setting me up with someone weird or something.
yeah,
and
exactly.
So it's definitely, I've had better experiences when it's set up through a friend or someone close to you rather than just a shotgun you meet for 5 minutes or you speak to them on the phone for a couple minutes and that's it. So definitely I think through friends is better. Yeah.
Well, what about bad news? That's something. What do you mean? What if it's a bad idea? What if the shidduch idea, or let's just say the cute guy he wants to set you up with is like, whoa, Tammy, it's not for me. How would you handle that?
What do you mean?
Is it harder? Is it harder if you don't like the idea?
Yeah, that's harder because then it's your close friend. You're like,
that's why.
awkward.
That's why me and Joelle and Lauren we always ask the guy first because not to embarrass the girl or make her feel bad. Guys are more
they don't whatever
passive, I guess.
I love that. I'm not poking at you, but is that antiquated? Is that old school? A lot of girls do feel like that in a way, but is it? I don't know. You tell me.
What do you mean old school? Like what?
Meaning, is it time the girl says the yes, gives the first yes? Yeah.
Yeah, people ask me first. I don't think it's bad. I don't know. I like
No,
it.
but
Like,
it comes down to when then you ask the guy and he says no.
Okay.
Wouldn't you feel like
Yeah,
everyone
but-
would feel a little let down and like?
But the
upset
same thing
over
with the
it?
guy.
I
Same thing
always-
on the guy's
I
end.
always
So
thought
guys
it was a
don't care.
Jewish
Yeah,
thing.
I
over
care.
it. They get
Avery,
over
have
it
I
fast.
cried? I've cried.
Easy. Okay, what was that? One person at a time.
what were you guys saying?
No,
I
go ahead.
always thought it was like a Jewish like
Thing?
halachic thing to,
ask the guy first?
I don't know. That's what I thought.
And it's not halachic, but
Or
it's
some- I don't
done
know. Yeah.
because there are more women just in general in shidduchim. There are because women start younger and there's more women in general. Guys start dating a little bit later, starting at 22, 23, 24. Once they figure out, I want to have a career, fine. That's when they start dating. So that's why the guy is asked first. Should it be? Maybe not. I think, my solution to the shidduch crisis, quote unquote shidduch crisis that we've talked about, was to pay the guy to go on a date. So if you pay me like $25 per date,
Pay the girl. Excuse me. Why just the
Whoa.
guy?
I'll tell you why. Because if girls are complaining that they don't
Who's
get enough
paying
dates,
that? Like, who would be paying?
it could be the
guy.
shadchan, could be
Who's paying them? Is
it could be the shadchan, it could be the girl, it could be anybody, whoever's paying. The people who complain about this so-called shidduch crisis should be paying $25 per date, and like, every guy will
We
go
should
out
set up
on
a
a date.
GoFundMe, like shidduch crisis.
In theory,
That'd be
yes. Now, in practice, that's not going to happen. But at the same time, I do think that there's a lot of issues with setting up, girls, to me in general, the girls I've gone out with are just so picky about what they want. They're just so direct about, I don't like this, I don't like that.
Yeah, that's what I
There's
was
something
saying
about it.
before. Like,
The Jewish girl today is so,
Let's hear this.
they're just so into getting this perfect guy, and they have to.
And
kind
guys aren't. They don't want the perfect girl.
no. We want a good,
Please.
girl.
I
We
don't
want a
believe that.
good girl. We want somebody who's gonna, make dinner and
Make dinner
watch the
and
kids.
do the laundry. You
Do
see
the
how
laundry,
old school
yeah.
Avery is here.
Right. Okay. Got it.
Well, girls are more emotional, so it's about that building that emotional aspect, and that takes a while. For a guy, it's primarily all look. So if you're like, if this is my look, so if I find the girl very attractive, and then there's a good dynamic, a guy can get to it much, much quicker and be like, okay, yes.
But that's not necessarily the case.
But a relationship needs to go long, and the relationship is not going to be like short, right? We have to see how long. So end to end, I think it's a good matchup. I mean,
let's
it
ask
does
Samantha
work
and
out.
Joel. It's Joel. All right. How important are looks? How important are looks?
Joel.
I said Joel. I know. I said that.
Joel.
I was right.
His accountant's named Joel, and it's almost
No.
April 15th.
No. No, I'm a big Philadelphia Sixers fan. They used to have a player in New Orleans, Noel. So I was thinking Noel. But whatever. Anyhow,
you should change your name to Noah.
I was going to ask, how important are looks when you're setting people up? How important? What percentage
Ooh.
goes looks?
I don't think it's everything,
But it's something.
but you have to be attracted to the person. You can't
Yeah.
can't feel like
You can't feel like you're going out with Oscar the Grouch in a trash can.
Hey,
Wow.
I take offense to that.
Because then you'll look at a lot of other things as like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know the word. Like,
Yeah.
You
you'll
can't see
feel-
past it then?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
but
That's
I don't think like looks should be like the first
Thing. Like,
thing that you think about, because if you learn more about the person and get to know them, they might become better looking to you,
Yeah.
because how
true.
if they're such a good person, you might feel like they're so much
more attractive.
more
like,
attractive like that.
But kind of getting more into now, Misty, I know social media is a very big area where I think people I think it's like the new virtual shul, social media, right?
Virtual show. Yeah.
Yeah. You kind of, you go, I've been to thousands and thousands of shuls, and I can tell you it's, okay, maybe not thousands, but
I
I've been
was
to a
like,
lot of
wow, it's a
shuls,
lot.
and it's very separate. You just don't see that social scene that you used to for, 20s, 30s in shul. And I'm not talking about maybe on the Upper West Side, but in just other general areas. So social media, I feel like, is that presence. I mean, can people meet today on social media? Is that an okay place? Is it acceptable?
For sure. I feel like I hear stories all the time, they slid into their DMs. I don't
like
know
the
how
new
they
line,
say it.
yeah.
I feel like so many people they see your entire life on social media, and they see
Right.
what they look like and where they go and the restaurants they go to. Like all their questions they have are like kind of the answers are there.
You get like a good idea of
Right.
Yeah,
somebody.
so I feel like it's easier. And then all you have to do is like, if a guy likes a girl, he could just like do like
Message or
like a
like.
smiley face on the story or something. Like it's so easy. Like you could
Right.
do. They could also like do that, and it's not like to the point where it's awkward. Like
Right.
the girl's not gonna think, oh, he went out of his way to do that. Like
You
okay,
just
like,
search their
sometimes-
political beliefs,
Yeah.
and then you find out who they're into,
yeah.
and then you
It's
come
it's
onto
their
the date.
online.
And by the way, I know you're into Rachel Ray. Me
Yeah.
too. How about that?
Oh, I love Rachel Ray.
Oh, I know
She's
you're
great.
into.
You're into Reed. Get it. We're not Facebook friends, Avery. It's pretty weird.
I don't have Facebook. I deleted it as soon as
Sure
I found
you
out my
don't. Sure you
parents
don't.
sent me friend requests.
oh my god.
I got out of it. I was like,
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Now,
Facebook is done.
grandparents
Done
now
for.
are messaging me. It's pretty
my
pretty
God.
fun. Yeah.
Grandparents.
I'm like, what?
Yeah,
Who is
the,
this?
The date my grandma set me up on was the worst date I ever went
Wait,
on
why?
in my life.
was it even
just-
anything like
was-
accurate or anything?
Yeah, it was so bad.
Well, do you set people up with pictures and
Yeah.
you send the picture for sure?
Yeah.
Videos. You send the video of them?
Videos. It could be
It's
nice,
not-
but also could be creepy. Like,
I wouldn't think that was creepy.
or they've
Because
seen
I feel like maybe like Joelle,
Yeah.
is it?
what?
Quick
Oh,
reply.
like
Yeah.
on story.
Like
Yeah.
just like they put a story. Like all you have to do is click the emoji and it like
Oh yeah, and then it comes
yeah.
up. Like,
So I feel like that's so easy and like they did it by accident or like
I hear that. But also, if they like something from like a way like long time ago, it's like they're obviously looking.
Stalking.
Yeah, but-
Stalking.
but the stories are only there for
Stalking.
24 hours.
No, I'm saying your highlights.
Oh yeah, highlight.
Oh, the highlights. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
so
well-
you can see
No,
who's
but I'm
viewed
saying
it.
like the stories.
IJ's done
the
that
most
to
recent.
multiple girls. He's done that. Let's not
Awkward.
name the year.
Oh gosh. No, this
Moving
guy
on.
over here. Yeah, the social. I think the social media aspect is definitely something I'm opening up my eyes more to.
Yeah.
You know, like it's the virtual kahila. It's a virtual kahila, and I think people kind of like that they don't have to dress up and like make themselves crazy. I mean, Misty, you
But
were
they have
talking
filters
about it
on,
before.
don't they? They look much better.
That's
with the
a big
filters.
problem. That's a big problem.
it could be
Misty
fake
brought
also.
that up. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
it
don't
could be
even look
fake.
like the same.
They
Yeah.
could also be like a catfish.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, definitely, but don't. If someone comes to you who's messaging you, who like lives in Iowa and apparently is a Chabad shliach there, but like he's not on the Chabad website. Yeah, then maybe not a good idea to get involved or at least check up.
Yeah.
But if it's someone that you can find out, like, oh, you're friends with Jaime, who knows
Yeah,
Sarala.
mutual
Okay, so
friend.
now I'm going to go kind of connect and see if you're real or legit. So
Right.
that is a
Yeah,
good way.
like I think it's very important that you have mutual friends with the person.
Would you guys take someone seriously though if they've like DM'd you on Instagram
That's
or
a good question.
Facebook?
That's
What-
a
what
good
would you-
question for Joelle.
What would you do, Joelle?
Yeah, Joelle, what do you
Misty?
think? If Avery kind of like just popped
I
up
just
one day on
slid
your
know,
into your
honestly.
DMs and I said, "Hey,
I
by
would
the way,
block
I've
him. I'm
stalked
joking.
every single
I'm
thing."
joking.
Oh, if you would admit that, like I just stalked you till no end.
First of all, I don't have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or any of these things.
Sure.
This
You
is
run the
A.
you run yeah sure yeah
Yeah.
sure. I'll give it after people.
Mhm. So let's say somebody's struggling in shidduchim. What do you say? What would you give them as advice?
Also like to meet with them and like try to find out why they're having such a hard time. Like maybe it's
Yeah.
something that they don't see. Like
That's smart.
maybe they're coming on too strong with guys,
Mm-hmm.
or girl, you know,
yeah.
or maybe like I don't know. Maybe it's their looks. I don't know.
The way they dress up,
Yeah.
right?
Would
the
you
way
tell them
they
like
act.
change?
I mean, I might. It depends. It depends.
I
It
would
really
tell them.
depends.
I would tell them if I met with people. I would say, "You look like an animal. Put on some makeup. Brush your teeth."
Would you really?
Yes, I have, and I'll send you a link later. Some
I've
videos.
tried to like tell people certain things in like a subtle way, like, "Oh, you would look so good if you wore
Like hint.
whatever," you know,
Right.
like, and then like try to hint it, you know,
Right.
without making them feel bad.
No, because that's important. Because some matchmakers wouldn't care. Like just change your face
Yeah.
and like.
What do you mean? There are.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't experienced it, but you know, I've had friends.
You have, right? Do you ever go out of the box? Is it, you know? How do you react? How do you react, Avery? Actually, I'm interested. How do you react if Sashatan sends you something out of the box, different from your set criteria?
Block on WhatsApp.
Oh,
Block on WhatsApp. No, I'm joking. If they send me something that's out of my criteria, first of all, you have to understand. I mean, we'll get into this on another episode very much, but I deal with a lot of red tape and regulation. Some people don't. Some people do. Their parents get involved in their shidduchim.
Mm-hmm.
My parents are very involved, and you know that already. So that's the difference. Like some people deal with it on their own, and then that's how they deal with it. So a lot of it's not in my say. I wish it was, but a lot of it isn't. And that's how I would deal with it. So I have to think of a good reason to say yes to somebody. Like if it has to work out for it.
yeah. Well, that wouldn't be tantamount to anything that's more conventional. Why someone would say no or can give a good reason for anything.
So you told us that you're married.
Yes,
You know.
yeah.
So how did you be your husband? Was it through a shidduch? Was it through?
Oh yeah,
No,
tell us.
so I actually, it's a funny story. There was this charity event. It was called One Life, and it was made by Persian Jewish people, and I'm Ashkenaz, and all my friends are. So I don't know why I was just in the mood to go. I was like, I'm so in the mood to go.
Right.
And none of my friends wanted to go with me. They're like, no way. Like, we're
You
not
went
going to meet
yourself?
anyone. No. So I wasn't going to go.
Right.
Then the day of, my friend Yarden, and we always talk about this because she said, do you still want to go? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, you know what? I'll come with you. Like, let's buy a ticket.
That's good.
Yeah.
Right.
So we both bought tickets. We went. We were just going to have fun. Like I wasn't even going to meet anyone because in my mind, I'm like, I'm not going to meet anyone. This is, it's not my type of people. And then my husband was there. He's Moroccan. So we were the only people that were in Persian at the event.
So that connected
And
you
it
guys
just, and that's it. The rest is history.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So did he approach you at the event, or how did it go?
He did. He approached me. We were talking a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I actually knew his sister. So he
cool.
got my number from his sister. He didn't even ask me for my number that night.
Ooh.
Yeah. But the next day he texted me.
Oh.
So.
Did you feel okay about him approaching you?
It was fine.
with that?
It was fine. It was fun. We had a good conversation.
What would you say to a lot of the girls out there who would be intimidated or a little nervous or concerned for a guy who would approach them at an event, let's just say generally a social event, because that's really where a big platform, that's a very solid platform for singles who are getting older, or even young singles, but more who are getting a little bit older, who are trying to find or maybe interested in someone else. So what would you say to someone in that instance?
I would say to try to let your guard down a little bit, not to be so nervous. There's nothing to be nervous about. If you click with the person, then that's great. If not, then you just continue on with your night.
Say no.
Yeah, you continue on with your night. I think it's good to go with a good friend to these events.
Yeah.
Just to have a
Yeah,
good
for
support
sure.
system.
Yeah, you need that.
Yeah, you don't want to go by yourself and then feel
That's awkward. Yeah, exactly.
Also my friends would know back in the day they would be if they knew I didn't want to talk to the guy,
They would come and
they would be
save you.
oh, you have to go. Can you come with me here?
It's these cue cards,
yeah.
come, save me for sure.
See, that's the difference with shidduchim. You're kind of stuck on a date for a couple of hours. No one can save you.
Exactly.
So-
Yeah.
Right. I put the timer.
It's a challenge.
Yeah.
It's a challenge. So you think it's easier for the guy to approach the girl? I'm a little curious about this myself because I've been at many events, and you think it's easier for a guy to go over to the girl, or should a girl be going over to a guy? What do you think about that?
I personally think the guy to a girl,
Yes.
but it could be just because I'm a girl. But that I think it's the best way because we feel awkward going up to them, not knowing where they stand and what they are. And guys have more of that approach to just come up to you and they have that courage.
Well,
sometimes we just don't.
How are we supposed to know if we should come over? Is there a sign? Is there a?
I feel
Are you
guys
going to be
know.
clicking
I
your
feel
heels
they know.
together? Come over. We need signs. We need.
I feel I feel it could go either way. I feel it's a stigma that the guy has to come up to the girl.
Mm-hmm.
if the girl's confident enough and not scared, like
Right.
I say go for it. Like, why not?
Yeah. I think either way, there's something so nice and I think attractive and beautiful about somebody who has that confidence to just go over to somebody and be like, hey, I like you or whatever. It's like, you know, it makes you want to say yes even more. I mean, personally for me, like, you know, if a guy has that, has the guts, just like get up there and like.
Is it better for him to have something in his hand or maybe come in with some kind of conversation?
Well, yeah, you want to have like like
What's a quality opening? What's
Yes.
is it hello?
What is a quality
It's a
opening?
good
Is I've stalked you on Instagram for 2
Don't say
years
that to
and
me.
I was stalking you and I saw you on Instagram yesterday. You look great, by the way. Pink dress, loved it.
I've got
High
that
heels,
before,
oh my
by
God.
the way.
Really? Is that creepy?
Yeah,
Yes.
very creepy.
I don't think I no.
Don't do that.
Yes. RJ, you're gonna stop?
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay, good.
You need like a pickup line or something or like.
Pickup lines, like just like introduce
Cheesy.
yourself. Yeah, they're cheesy.
Yeah, like be normal.
Introduce yourself. Ask like what I do, where I go to school, like
Right.
just whatever it is. Just be normal. Don't like think of something beforehand, or I'll just think you're weird.
Also, like I feel like it depends like where you are. Like let's say it's a charity event, like if there's something that stands out at the event, maybe bring that up. Like, oh, do you like, you know, the music or
like
do you
the
like
food is so good.
like something like that. Maybe that's like a
Right.
good
Read
opening.
the situation.
So what
Yeah.
stood out about your husband? I mean, just out of curiosity, not
Ooh,
in
good
particular,
question.
but like in the moment, did he do something that was like, wow, this guy is really
It
coming over to me.
wasn't
That's
like-
great.
It wasn't like love at first sight.
Did you right? Because we were like, I knew right away.
It
Well,
was
that's
just like
that?
I didn't even know he was gonna text me the next day.
Right.
Oh, so surprised.
Well, that's a great
it
point.
was like yeah.
Because a lot of people in the shidduch world think that, oh, I'm going to go out on the first date and I'm going to start loving them and it's going to be this romantic, fairy tale,
Right.
as if
No,
they're watching,
yeah.
Mulan and Aladdin, all these, Disney movies. We've
Yeah.
discussed this before, but it's not necessarily like that.
Also, I feel like personally, I always met someone when I wasn't looking. Like when I was
They
like
say that, like, when you stop looking.
And I really like I know from experience like it's definitely true. Like because I feel like you're just going out to have a good time, you're at your happiest, you're you're just going to like you let loose, you're like
You're not so stressed.
having
or,
fun.
like,
yeah, you're not like
pressure.
looking around and like waiting
that's
and
so
like
true. I
then you
like
get
that.
disappointed at the end of the night if you don't meet someone.
Right.
So
I like that.
I think
That's
a
a good
mindset-
mindset to have.
yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely been in stages in that in my life. And right, when you kind of lower the guard and
yeah.
kind of focus on you and where you're going, not necessarily, okay, I need to be with someone. It's ride or die, and that's in that essence. So it is good to have that kind of mindset.
So talking about the people that you set up what type of people? What type of community are you dealing with? More modern, people who are wearing pants and people who don't wear hats. Obviously, what type of person are you looking to set up, and then how do you set them up?
So we want to be open to like all different types of people. So mostly, since I'm modern Orthodox and I wear pants, like that's easiest for me. But if someone comes to me like my sister Joelle, she wears skirts. Some of her friends are shomeret. Like, so we like to do both. We don't want to like say no to someone if they're
Right.
asking us.
Right.
We try our best, and people like even if they're modern Orthodox and they're wearing pants, like it's never guaranteed. Like we will always keep an eye out for anyone who asks us.
Right. Because you never know really
Yeah.
where it can come from.
Yeah, you really never know.
Very true.
Yeah, I know in particular dealing with shadchanim who've been in certain areas. I've dealt with very yeshiva shadchanim who don't understand me or don't understand the people, my friends. And it's nice to have somebody that can go relate to, different areas of shidduchim. So that's nice.
Yeah.
So, RJ? Hey listeners, it's Avery from the Nobody Talks Shidduchim podcast, and we'd like to thank our sponsors for this week's episode, Piscata. Piscata is both a premier steakhouse and a high-end dairy restaurant. That's right, they have both a meat and dairy location each and are conveniently located in the heart of Flatbush. With their luxurious decor, rich cuisine, and premier service, Piscata is becoming known as one of the go-to restaurants in the tri-state area. And for a limited time, you'll get a free dessert when you mention this podcast. So if you're sick and tired of the boring old Manhattan steakhouses and need a fresh new date spot, make Piscata your next choice. No, so I was gonna say, like, what is there something though that would turn you off from shidduchim, from like a person if you're dealing with them? Like, how do you deal with each person individually? Like, do you meet them? Do you need to meet them? Do you need to get their information? Do you need a resume? Like, what's your strategy?
So majority of the people, like, we know them personally. But yeah, like a lot of people, not a lot of people, but some people do turn us off. Like,
You tell them, like, we're not dealing with you.
I mean, like, if the guy or girl actually, if we find that guy or girl, I'll gladly set them up. But like, we don't
That's not
usually
your
find
first-
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't know, right? People, right? People are. I don't like to say picky, but people have something in mind, and it's when you're kind of working with one or two different kinds of sects of people, SECTS. It kind of it's folk.
Right.
Yeah, I want everyone to feel comfortable reaching out to us.
Oh, of course.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't want anyone to
Yeah.
feel like they
So
can't.
what's the most challenging thing of setting people up? Because I've set people up before, and I'll tell you, for me, the most challenging thing is dealing with the emotions, because I think it's going to go through, and I think that they're both a great match, and they're I'm setting somebody up right now, a good friend of mine and IJ's, and maybe Miss D's, probably not, but a good friend of ours, and I'm setting him up, and I want it to go through. I think it's good on paper, and I think it looks good, but you never know. For me, it's emotions of setting people up. Other people could be logistics. But what's the most challenging thing for, you guys?
I think I have to agree with you because, like, let's say we set people up, one person likes the other and, like, the other one doesn't.
Yeah.
Like, in a way, we're in the middle, but at the same time, we want to leave it to them.
Right.
But we feel awkward and feel bad for the other person. So it's like, what now? Like, what do we do?
Right.
But I guess, like, it's sad for the other person, but they get over it.
Right.
It wasn't like they're a few years in, but it's mostly about the emotions. Like, I have to agree with you on that. That's what I
So I think, is the breakup easier though with a shot?
Always with the
especially early
breakup.
on?
Yeah, I think that it's easier
Well, I've
with the
broken up
shotgun.
with a lot of people. It is.
I think it is.
Cue the sad music.
Because you don't even have to text the other person and like think of what to write and be scared and all that stuff. So I think it's easier to break up.
But I kind of like feel like the shadchan might not explain why they're breaking up, as well as I feel like it's more hurtful to like get a breakup text from a shadchan than from the person.
Right.
Yeah,
You
like
don't get clarity.
yeah, and then you might want to talk about it, like why didn't it work out for you? Like so for the next person.
Yeah.
Or like,
Well, how do they usually break up? How do they break up?
Like with you, like
In person, via text, phone call?
I mean, in person would be the most like respectful.
Right.
Voicemail is good.
If someone did it through a text, that's like disgusting. I feel like not nice. And a person or a phone call, and at least like explain. I feel like if a shadchan calls you or texts you, like, oh, he doesn't want to
Like that's it.
see
bye.
you again. Bye. Like that's
You're
so
like,
hurtful. Then you're like,
Yeah.
So let me
that's-
ask you guys-
It's true, that personal
As-
aspect of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
As matchmakers, how do you deal with people who just say outright no? Like, this, it's not going to work. Or
Oh,
one
they don't
date,
give
no.
reasons?
They don't give a
Yeah.
reason. Like, they're just being very stubborn. They say no. Maybe they're hiding their real reason.
yeah.
How do you
So-
deal with the people who are
You have to,
just
like,
like
figure it
ignorant
out.
and
So if I really think that it's gonna work, I'll like keep pushing. Like I'll try to try my hardest to convince them.
Right.
We actually set up someone that was like that. Like they were against being set up. Like they wanted to meet on their own, both the guy and the girl.
Interesting.
And me and Joelle and Lauren, we convinced them, both of them, and now they're like almost getting engaged.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So they're like,
whoa.
yeah. So it was actually a crazy story, but
And that's good that you were there, because a lot of so many people, they need something to lean on. They
Yeah.
need a navigator. So I was going to say navigator.
We don't
They
mention
need
them.
someone who's a shadchan in essence, or a facilitator. So it's good to know that you have you can serve them. in
like
that
we
area
knew
for
both
them.
of them personally, and we're just like, we knew it was gonna work.
Right. So what's the most rewarding thing about setting people up, do you think, for you guys?
It's good to know. I mean, if it works out, then we get like a huge
Besides the-
mitzvah, so it's
Like,
great,
besides the
and
money.
it
Joking.
feels good. No,
Right.
we don't charge,
Right. But
Yeah.
people usually give like
they'll give
a
like
present.
yeah,
or,
like a gift.
something.
Like we don't expect anything,
Right.
And we don't charge. We do this for fun. This is like a side thing that we do like for
Right.
fun and for the mitzvah, and
Cool.
like just
So it's
just
a
'cause we're
feeling.
good at it.
Yeah.
Also, if it's like
That's cool.
with our friends, we feel so good that they feel happy.
Yeah.
That's the
Oh.
best part
Right.
about it.
Like one of Joelle's best friends, she set up and they've been dating for how long? Like
3 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's
they're like,
kind of long.
yeah.
What is the general time frame for like your friends, your network of dating? So it's like
I think it depends who it is, like where they are.
1 to
And
4
also
years,
on the
1 to
age.
5 years.
I think it depends on the age as well.
So like, is it the older, the longer?
I think if you're older, I think you should date for a shorter amount of time.
Right.
I like a year.
Wow.
Some
right.
people like less. Some people like more. I say at least a year because I feel like you have to see everyone in like all 4 seasons, you know, like
I like
see if it
that.
works
Like different
out.
situations and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, fashion wise, you know, you want to see her in the
Yeah.
boots.
You have to make
wanna
sure
see
she's
her
dressed
in the
good.
summer
Yeah.
dress, right? That's very important.
Yeah.
I see them date for like a day.
Oh yeah.
Right, yeah, I know. 15
Yeah.
minutes they meet
That's
each
it.
other.
Crazy.
That'd be
That's all I
nice.
need.
That'd be nice. Or the parents meet. How involved are the parents in these shidduchim, would you say? Do you deal directly with the people, or have you dealt with parents? Like, how does that work?
We have some parents that are just like, oh, could you set our daughter up or our
Right.
son up? But like the kids
think
like want to
after
kill
that-
them
Oh,
and
well,
they don't want their parents involved. And like,
Right.
people like that I know, mostly the parents are not involved. Like a lot, yeah, like at all. You know, they meet when the kids are ready for them to meet.
How long does it take to get them to meet? 6 months, a year? What do you
Or it
think?
depends on like.
It depends on the person, but I feel like 6 months is good.
Wow, yeah, that's long. And is there any kind of pressure, directly or indirectly from the parents about certain criteria that they're expecting their sibling, the daughter or son to meet, having a partner. So academia, career. Is there anything there that?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like so many people are trying to like
What are the best two?
live
What are
up
the
to what
worst
their
two?
parents want for them. I think like career wise and also like the religious level, I would say. I think those are the two most important, and like to make sure the other one has good values and comes from a good family. I think that's like the main things that people look.
When you are shidduch dating and you're at that point where, okay, I have to change things up. Okay, I have to change things up. Avery, you've mentioned that your mother sets you up, that you have shadchanim handling these things, and you're the agent. You're the Hollywood actor. They're the Hollywood Ari Gold agent. They're just sending you in there. That's pretty fun, actually. I have to tell you that taking you from that perspective, this guy,
Makes you feel good.
it does. Yeah,
In
like
that
you're
way.
pretty good
You have
now.
your own team, your crew doing it.
Misty, how do you feel about that? That's
Nice. You have your people. His people.
He
Come
had, yeah,
on,
his
stop
the
it.
Kolo moms in Israel, right?
Stop
right.
it. Come on.
Can I use them? Can I hire them? I'm going to take their information.
They don't
now.
take your type.
Oh.
But so you're getting to that point where like I need to change the strategy, right? I want to hear what you guys have to say on it. Like, what do you do in that case?
Do you ditch shidduchim? Is that the question?
Yeah. Do you ditch it? Maybe take a break? I mean,
Well,
how do you handle the pushback?
I could see people who could ditch shidduchim. I have friends who are not from, and they want to act like they're from just for shidduchim, just so they can
Ooh,
get a
that's
resume,
bad.
or they are, in that type of atmosphere. Or I've gotten girls, for instance, who have been, like they look like they'll send me pictures. I've looked up girls who have pictures like if they're dressed for a club, that would be nice. Like that's how bad the pictures were of these girls. Like that would be nice. A club would be nice.
No, like an arts and craft
So,
project.
and
Like that's where that picture
Right.
belongs.
And I'm thinking like, what are you doing in shidduchim? Like why don't even do shidduchim? It's ridiculous. People are going to see right through you. So I totally understand that point.
Be more of yourself, right?
Be
Right.
yourself.
Be yourself.
Don't get into
Yeah.
shidduchim. Go into something else. Go meet somebody on your own. Go to a club. Go to a bar. Go to the local singles event. Go to the local mayor. I don't know where you're going to go,
Mayor?
but don't go to shidduchim.
Yeah.
I totally understand it. It makes 100% sense to me.
You, Samantha, is that something?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, it's Yeah, you do find people like that in it sometimes.
And they're just they're mixed up. They're mixed up. They don't
know where to go and what to do. I do. Yeah, I know. I get it.
Yeah, I would tell them that.
And Miss D, do you know people like that have been not fit for shidduchim and they try doing it anyway?
Usually not. Usually, like, if they're not fit for it, they know that and they just do it like another way. Like, I have a lot of friends who haven't done shidduchim. They don't have a resume. They don't do any of that. They just more casual, more natural, and that really worked for them. So I think if you know it's not for you, then why bother doing it?
Well, people are forced into it.
I also feel like
true.
Why can't there be like a happy medium? Like, why can't there be like a matchmaker for those type of people? You know,
right?
It's unpopular.
They don't have.
It's unpopular.
Yeah. So
why? Why is it unpopular?
Yeah, because the matchmakers are very judgmental.
Yeah.
The ones I deal with are judging.
Very close-minded and very like.
That's why me and Joelle, we like are more open-minded.
Yeah.
You know, like we won't like.
No, so that's great. So those kind of people can definitely benefit from that.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think shidduchim in general are more for like people think of it's like really orthodox people that like
exactly
you have to
like
fit.
with a resume,
yeah,
like very religious,
right?
So people don't want to bother with that. It's like
so that's also why me and like we started doing it because I felt like there was no one for like
the middle ground.
The middle ground, yeah.
Very cool.
No, I get that. Yeah, and so I did also want to discuss the co-ed factor. The co-ed factor when people are in yeshiva, right? Their yeshiva background. So a lot of people do feel that people who went to co-ed yeshivas when they were younger or co-ed schools, that there was, a mixed class, guys and girls, they have an upper hand in a way where they're able to make conversation. They know how to talk to the opposite gender. They know how to handle having a girlfriend, having a boyfriend. Is that true? Do they have the upper hand, or is it false? Is it not? Is it just? Is it not what it's meant to be?
Yeah, I think we for sure had the upper hand because we were around it our whole lives,
right?
And we're used to it. But I also feel like at the same time, like we never thought that like, oh, if we don't find anyone on our own, we'll fall back on like a matchmaker, a shadchan. Like there was no one for us.
Right, got that.
So it's like we didn't really have a choice. Like we had to like meet on our own. We had to fend for ourselves. Like so, I feel like people in schools were just a all boys school, all girls school.
Right.
They like they know, okay, like there's a match. They know all the matchmakers. Okay, they're gonna set me up, and that's it. So.
Well, sometimes, not
a
like...
lot, yeah, sometimes.
But I think it's better because, like, I feel like then you know how to talk to guys. Like, like growing up in a system where it was only girls, it's like you go into the dating world now and it's like, it's just more, you just don't know what to say or because you didn't grow up that way. So it's definitely easier, I think, growing up in a co-ed system.
I guess, like, I didn't feel it because it was just normal to us.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were best friends with guys.
But could someone say it's too normal? It's too much comfort. Could be a bad thing. Like you're too friendly with the opposite gender.
No.
That it makes it uncomfortable.
I also feel like I don't think so at all because certain guys we had a crush on and we acted different to them or certain guys were our best friends. Like everyone was different. Like it's it's a normal thing. And
that's
also
very interesting because I know that, if I were to go over to a girl and be seen in like, my local park in my neighborhood, all the yentas near me would be saying like, oh, look at Avery. He's he's talking to the girls. And then it would get back to my mother and then she would smack me till, I saw,
and I'd give you a high five.
And I would be looked at, I'd be shunned. They would destroy me. My reputation would be
right.
Nothing.
Oh, that's interesting. Right. So there is a very negative aspect to it. Yeah, so true.
Yeah, that never happened with us.
That wouldn't happen with you guys.
No, that would never happen with us.
In your with your background, like people don't get that's where maybe the judging comes from. Like there isn't judging. There isn't these preconceived notions or targets on people's head because everyone has a friend who's a guy or a guy who has a friend who's a girl. People have that. And people actually who are more in shidduchim don't necessarily have that in volumes. Like most of the time they don't they don't have a friend of the opposite gender, especially younger.
So
Especially younger.
don't you feel like that would make dating harder? Because
Yeah.
don't you think
Yes.
like if they're more awkward, they don't know how to like talk to a guy or a girl, like
100%. Like growing up, I think in like more basiaco, like yeshiva system, that like you like you're told you're taught boys are like bad or whatever, and then you're like thrown into the dating world, and it's like I have no idea how to talk to a guy. And it's like, what are you supposed to do? It's not.
Yeah.
It's it's confusing. It's like
Yes.
it's scary.
I've gotten girls like that. No idea how to talk to a guy.
Right.
wow,
Yes, I've had that a lot. Right.
They have no.
I had
they don't know
someone-
the first thing from
so crazy.
talking to a guy. And
Yeah, you're like, what do I
Crazy
say?
to me because like
take him out. I have to teach them the ropes. Like this is
Yeah.
what you do on a date. I had one
This
girl
is
I went out
this
with.
is how you walk through the door. This is
Oh my
how
God,
you
stop.
you
the
bow
first thing
down
she
to
said
me.
to me was, "This is my first shidduch date ever."
Bow down to
Bow down. Yeah, this is my first shidduch date ever. Like, what do I say? And I'm like, okay.
Oh, she told you that?
She told me that the first she walked in the car. I'm like,
Wow.
okay, all right. I know it's not going to go anywhere. You know,
yeah.
first timers, you know how it is. So I told her, I'm like, okay, this is what you do. You go on a date, you go to a lounge, you talk, conversation, and then done. Bye. So
Yeah.
we ended it after that.
me how old I am?
Yeah.
Get some crazy questions.
No.
Yeah, that's
Right.
so crazy to me. I don't know. I feel like so many people from my school like are married now because we grew up together. So.
Is what is the ratio like though? Looking at your high school, giving us over an age range. Is there a successful marriage ratio with that crowd? Like, can you look back and say
Maybe there's
I
like
graduated
10
with
couples that are
40?
married,
So like, and how many
from
people
school.
graduated in your class?
like 120.
So 120, and you're saying that
Like
many?
10,
10.
10 couples maybe.
Wow, and that's a big change. Like that's a
Yeah.
very big change. People need to realize 20 years ago was not the case. 40 years ago was not the case. So this is very new having these kinds of numbers, right? I have a friend who was actually at Einstein Medical College. That's a yeshiva university, or was, in the Bronx. And I would go back, and I remember he started out as his first year, and he went all the way till he got a fellowship there, and he was there for many years. And I remember seeing, like, at the beginning, a lot more people who were coupled up, and then not so much going down the road. So it is very it's definitely paramount to just know those numbers and see, oh, hey, look, this is working, this is not working, etc. Like, okay, so it's interesting to see that you guys also have this quote unquote shidduch crisis, maybe in a way as well.
Yeah.
So if you had to leave the audience off with one thing, like this is, how I want people to know what I do and how I want to impact singles and in whatever capacity I do, what would it be? What's the goal of Samantha and Joelle? Like, what do you guys want to leave the audience off with?
I want to be I don't want people to be scared to reach out to us.
How can they reach out to you?
They could email me at everythingsamantha@yahoo.com.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Until
everything
we
Samantha
make-
at yahoo.com.
Yeah, until we make
That's
our
your-
website and like a more legit, like
Official.
official way.
Mhm. And do you have Instagram for them to maybe give you a follow or
Samantha
something?
Chetrit, Chetrit.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Yeah,
follow
that's my
you.
personal Instagram. You could DM me.
Right.
So yeah, I think like I want to be like approachable. I want like we want to be for everyone, but we don't want people to feel like they can't reach out to us because they wear
Right,
skirts or
certain
they
things,
don't or
yeah.
whatever.
Right.
Like if we have someone for you, like we're gonna set you up no matter like how religious you are, or what background you
Very
come
cool.
from.
And try to help you anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Try to help them.
And also like we're what?
Not going to charge you.
charge.
Right.
Oh yeah, we don't charge.
Yes.
This
yes.
is for fun. I have a job, but this is for fun on the side. And
it.
yeah.
That's a
so-
great cause. That's a great
Yeah,
cause.
also
and
a lot
kudos
of
to
people
both of you.
do it. I shouldn't say this, but a lot of people they want to like set people up because they know, okay, I'm getting a check like
At the end of it.
at the end of it. Like if they charge, like we do it because we like genuinely like doing it.
Wow.
And we're good at it. Like so we're not just gonna push you just to like
And you're a good team.
what do we get out of it if we're pushing
So that's
you to
why it
make our-
works. You
Yeah.
genuinely
You-
want to help people.
Exactly. So
like-
it's not like, oh, then we
Stop,
say like,
whatever.
okay, you owe us X amount of money.
Yes.
Like it's not like
Exactly. Wow.
Yeah, Avery. Okay, so at one time you set me up. I told you I don't owe you any money for that.
I have an invoice waiting for you. Credit, default, judgment.
Sorry, I'm breaking up. Anyway, yeah, let's get to our ending because of that. Yes.
Okay, so we appreciate you guys coming on the show, and I think you guys can have added a lot of value to our audience. There's a lot of people out there who do need shidduchim and need somebody who's involved to set them up, and they're a little intimidated by the shadchan who's been there for 30 years, who has this brand name, who it doesn't relate to them. And I think you guys can really,
provide a different approach as well, because
Exactly.
they don't really, I would say you two don't necessarily do shidduchim. You do like more American Jewish dating,
Yeah.
modern day dating, where
This is like a hobby
there are,
for us,
yeah. So there's modern day dating, and you're here to help people set up, because we have a lot of people who reach out to us on social media, our supporters, I mean, let's say followers anymore, our supporters, our brotherhood, our brothers and sisters out there who are single in shidduchim. Well, single and dating,
Right.
Who don't want to go through shidduchim and don't want to have a shidduch, or maybe they don't want to go on online dating. So they like where can they go for someone who's young, who gets it, who's been there, and now they have you two. So it's everythingsamantha@yahoo.com that they can kind of go to, and like I will put a link up on our website shidduchpodcast.com, everyone, as you always go to. In closing, I think there's so many ways. I'll just lead off, but there's so many other ways for people to find someone else out there. Now we have Samantha and Joel, that you have a network as well to reach out to get, to continue in your single journey. But there are other ways, right? We talked about social media. That is new, and maybe you guys also might be interested in kind of giving a little coaching as well in that area. Like, hey, do this, don't do that. So maybe you're available in that also. So there's such social media pros, and of course, going to events like you even met your husband at, which is so popular. We meet so many times people coming with the
I
husbands.
think shul also.
Shul is a great place to have a conversation during davening.
During davening.
Yeah, and like we said, like the dating apps is good. Right.
Right.
The charity events.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Misty, in closing.
I just think that, like we were saying, just get yourself out there, not only shidduchim wise, but like you're saying, Samantha, like when you met your husband, you weren't going in with a mindset like I'm going to find my husband tonight. You just went to have a good time, and you just like all that pressure came off, all that stress, and you were just yourself. So I think that's what many people should just do. Just enjoy being yourself and just enjoy life. And then like when you stop looking at it for so much, it like comes to you, So I think that's really cool.
I agree.
Yeah. So that's what I end off with.
Avery, your
That's
closer.
I said my piece.
Oh, you did? I was sleeping.
All right.
I couldn't resist.
You're
I'm
sleeping,
sorry.
just
I'm
like your
sorry.
last date. That's why it didn't
Okay,
work out.
awesome.
All right, bye.
Samantha and Joel, thank you guys so much.
you guys for joining us.
Thank you, ladies, so much for coming on. You've
We
been
really
very
appreciate
good. Really hatzlacha, and all the
so
best
much.
with
Thank
your
you for having
endeavors.
us.
And we really hope that our supporters out there and our followers can
And
really
us,
understand.
we'll be reaching out
have
to
have
you
another
after.
branch.
Maybe we could set you guys up soon.
We'll be in a touch a little bit later, but I have
IJ's
to
a
tell
challenge.
Both of them.
I thought I'd put it on. Anyway, this has been another episode of the Nobody Talks Shidduchim podcast, shidduchpodcast.com, or wherever you get your podcasts. The LMNO Broadcast Network.